This morning, Nhi suddenly burst into tears, begging Diep, "I don't want to go to school anymore." A sentence that left the whole family speechless. What made the once cheerful girl so scared? This heartbreaking secret will surely make you cry. That morning, the small house suddenly became unusually quiet when Nhi, the girl who was always smart and cheerful, was sitting silently in the corner of the room. Her eyes red, her face filled with fear. While preparing breakfast, Diep noticed that her child was no longer eager to get ready for school like usual. When the time came, she gently called Nhi to get dressed for school. But unexpectedly, the little girl burst into tears, put her head on her foster mother's chest and said through sobs, "I don't want to go to school anymore." That statement made Diep stunned, and James quickly walked over and sat down next to the mother and daughter. He gently hugged Nhi, patting her to calm her down. After a while of coaxing, Nhi finally opened her mouth, telling everything in a choked sob. It turned out that in recent days, at school, she had been constantly teased by a group of older friends. They said mean things, calling Nhi a child without biological parents, and making fun of her situation. Those words cut deep into Nhi's young heart, making her feel humiliated and scared, to the point of not daring to go to school anymore. Hearing these words, Diep felt her heart being squeezed. She felt sorry for her child that he had to suffer such great mental trauma. James clenched his fists, anger and pain evident in his eyes. He could not believe that an innocent child like Nhi had to hear such harsh words in a place that was supposed to be safe. Immediately, James and Diep decided that this could not continue. They comforted Nhi, telling her that they were not wrong, that she was still loved and appreciated like any other child. After that, the two of them took Nhi to school together, met the homeroom teacher to share the incident. When they arrived at school, James and Diep held Nhi's hands tightly. She was still scared, her eyes constantly looking down at the ground. James bent down, patted Nhi's head and whispered, "Don't worry. Today Uncle and Mother Diep will be here. No one can make you cry anymore." Those words seemed to give Nhi courage. In the teacher's room, James and Diep told the whole story to the homeroom teacher. The teacher's face showed a hint of worry. She quickly called the group of students involved. A moment later, a few older students walked in, their faces furtive. The atmosphere in the room became tense. James looked straight at the children, his voice low but restrained. "Do you know how much your words hurt your friend? Nhi cried all night, and this morning she didn't dare go to school." The group of students were silent. Some bowed their heads, some pursed their lips. Diep sat next to her, her eyes red. She hugged Nhi as if she wanted to protect her from all harm. The teacher spoke sternly and asked the students to apologize to Nhi. A timid student stepped forward and mumbled an apology. James nodded, but he did not forget to remind them, "Every word has weight. Remember that friends come to school to learn and have fun, not to hurt each other." The tense atmosphere gradually eased. Nhi was still hesitant, but when she saw her friends apologize, she nodded slightly. James rubbed Nhi's back and said, "You were very brave to tell everything. Uncle and Mom Diep are proud of you." Walking out of the teacher's room, Diep breathed a sigh of relief. James held both mother and daughter's hands and led them to the schoolyard. Nhi suddenly smiled slightly, her eyes less fearful. That was the moment James and Diep felt that their efforts had helped Nhi regain her confidence, a new beginning for her to gradually love school again. That afternoon, when the three of them returned home, the atmosphere was completely different from the morning. Nhi looked more relaxed, no longer clinging to Diep like before. As soon as he entered the house, James put down his bag, sat down next to NHI and smiled gently. NHI. You see? When you have the courage to say what you are afraid of, everything will be resolved. Uncle and Diep's mother are always here to protect you. Diep sat down beside her, hugging NHI. Daughter, you are not inferior just because of your circumstances. You are my pride. From now on, don't keep it to yourself anymore. If anything happens, just tell me and Uncle James. NHI hugged James and Diep tightly, her eyes sparkling. She whispered, "Thank you, Mom and Uncle James. I will try to go to school. I'm not afraid anymore." James gently stroked Nye's head, feeling a warmth rising in his heart. He turned to look at Diep. Both of them exchanged understanding glances. They knew that this was not just a time to protect NHI, but also a turning point to help her learn to face difficulties, not let fear control her life. In the evening, the whole family gathered around the dinner table. There were no more sighs. Only Nye's clear laughter echoed in the kitchen. James thought to himself, happiness sometimes is simply seeing the person you love smile peacefully. James sat quietly for a while, watching Diep and NHI chatting happily, and an indescribable feeling rose in his heart. Since NHI appeared in his life, the quiet house had now become warm and filled with laughter. He suddenly realized that the hardships at work and the stresses of life outside all became small when he returned home and saw these two girls peacefully in front of him. After dinner, Diep made a pot of tea. James carried NHI out to the porch to enjoy the breeze. The moon was bright, casting shadows of 3 people on the small yard. NHI leaned her head on James's shoulder, softly saying, "Uncle James, tomorrow I will go to school. I will not be afraid anymore. I want to become strong like you." James smiled, gently squeezing her small shoulder. "You are so strong. You dare to face your fears. Dare to say what hurts you. Uncle and Mother Diep will always be here. No one is allowed to hurt you anymore." Diep walked out of the house, holding a thin scarf in her hand. She gently wrapped it around Nye's shoulders, her eyes gentle. "Just remember, no matter what happens, you always have a home to return to. This place will always love and protect you." NHI smiled and hugged both of them tightly. Her clear laughter echoed in the night, as if dispelling all the worries and fears of yesterday. James looked up at the starry sky, silently promising himself that he would do everything to give NHI a happy childhood, so that the painful past would never haunt her again. In that moment, he deeply felt that family is not only a place to return to, but also the strength to help each person overcome the storms of life.